So we were finished till text 24. Now we'll do from text. Now, okay, I'll just read for the connection purpose. Krishna is saying in text 24. So what we did till text 24. So Krishna in text 24, 22 to 24, Krishna says 19 in text 19 to 20. So this section 17 to 35 talks about Nishkam Karma Yoga. Okay. Now within that there are subsection 17 to 32. Krishna explains why somebody is free from material desire. Somebody is free from material desire should perform prescribed duties. Okay. Then within that 19 to 21, that even if somebody at the 17 to 18, the Gyan knowledge stage, and 19 to 21, if somebody, even Arjuna, if you think you are at the knowledge state, you should still perform your prescribed duties for teaching others, a certain example for others to follow. Okay. Then text 22 to 24, Krishna says, he gives his own example that I also perform prescribed duties. If I follow the prescribed duties, therefore the world follows me. Otherwise, I would have guided the people in a wrong way. Okay. So now 25 to 32, Krishna will now, what he will do? He will next compare an attached worker and a detached worker. Okay. 25 to 32. So in this verse, in text 25, what Krishna will do? Krishna in this text 25, he will give the conclusion of text 24 and 23. So in text 25, Krishna is giving conclusion of text, the topic in text 24 and 23. So he will conclude those things which is going on in the previous two verses. Krishna will conclude in text 25. Okay. So let's go.
Conclusion of which two verses, Prabhuji?
24 and 23.
Okay.
Krishna says, no, I also perform my duty. So then he concludes in text 25. Saktah karmanni avidvamsho yatha kuruvanti bharata Huryat vidvams tata shaktas shikirsur loka sangraham. As so Krishna is telling, so Arjuna, as the ignorant perform their duties. Ignorant means one is having no knowledge. Which knowledge? Knowledge about the Atma. Okay. So as the ignorant perform their duties with attachment to results, because they don't perform Nishkam Karma Yoga. Okay. For the knowledge of Atma, one should have to do Nishkam Karma Yoga. As the ignorant perform their duties with attachment to results, the learned may similarly act, same time, similarly, but without attachment, for the sake of leading people on the right path. So, ignorant may be attached for his duties, attached for the results, okay, and they perform their duties. So, learned also should perform their duties, but how they perform without attachment to the result. Why? Why? Because for the sake of leading on the right path. So Krishna is telling Arjuna, hey Arjun, even if you think you have knowledge, so but still you have to do duty to set an example. So you do the duty, okay, so that the ignorant people, they should be on the right path. So you should perform your duty, but without attachment to the results. Don't get attached to the results, but you perform the duty without being attached to the results. Okay. Okay, how? So Krishna explains next. Text 26. Na buddhi bhedam janayet ajnanam karma sanginam joshayet sarva karmani vidwan yukta samacharan. So do not disrupt the minds of ignorant men. So Krishna is telling Arjuna, don't disrupt the minds of ignorant men attached to the fruitive results of prescribed duties. So they are attached to the results, so don't disturb them. A learned person should not induce them to stop work. Oh, you should not tell them, stop work, we are not this body, we are soul. We should no. Rather, by working in spirit of devotion. Okay. Rather, by working in spirit of devotion, you should engage them in all sorts of activities for gradual development in Krishna consciousness. So don't disturb the buddhi bhedam, don't disturb their buddhi. Okay. You should karma sanginam, those who are attached to the fruit. So what one should do Vidwan? So by working in spirit of devotion, so means here is karmani, Vidwan yukta samacharan, yukta, engage them. So Prabhupada added, yes, engage them in some activity so that gradually they can come towards Krishna consciousness in the spirit of devotion. So gradually you should not disturb them. Gradually we should, if you bring them directly, they're difficult. So don't tell them, just engage them, those who are singer, those who are this, engage them in Krishna service gradually. Okay, got this? Gradually we should, what do you say? Engage them in Lord's service. You should not abruptly change the mind because they are attached to results. It's very difficult to give up the results. So Krishna is telling Arjuna, even if you have any knowledge, so how you should act with the person without knowledge? How you will act in front of him with the person without knowledge? So you should also act in knowledge. But how I should act in knowledge? You should act but without attachment to the result. You should set an example to others. Okay? So both that person works. One who works for Krishna, he gives the results to the Krishna. One who works for himself because he is attached to the results. So because why Krishna says here, see in the next verse, see this, he says, so engage them rather working in spirit of devotion. He should engage them in all sorts of activities. So all sorts of means for gradual development of Krishna consciousness. Rather you do this, like cleaning the temple, chanting the holy, cleaning the temple, giving the results, singing for the Lord if he's a singer, painter if he's painting for the Lord, he should paint for the Lord. Okay. Why we should do this? Krishna next explained in text 27. Krishna next describes because what the attached person is thinking. Why we should do this in text 26, Krishna says why we should do this. Okay, means like wow, so you should not disturb the mind of, so as not to disturb the minds of ignorant men attached to the fruitive results of prescribed duties. A learned man should not induce them to stop work, well, while rather work in spirit of devotion. So yes, yuktaha, engage them so that gradually development of Krishna consciousness. So next question come, why he should do this? Answer is text 27. Because of the thinking of ignorant man. Okay. Why one should do this? Because the ignorant man think what? प्रकृतेः क्रियमाणानि गुणैः कर्माणि सर्वशः अहंकार विमूढ़ात्मा कर्ता हम इति मन्यते. The spirit soul bewildered by the influence of false ego. So ignorant man is attached to the body. So he is attached to his false ego. False ego means attached to his body. Think himself the doer of activities, that I am the doer of those activities. They are in actually carried out by three modes of material nature. So he himself does not do any activity. Okay. The living entity does not do any activity. Like I'm picking up this, so Atma is not picking this up. I'm desiring and my hand is lifting the mobile because my hand is worked by material nature. Okay. So three modes of material, but ignorant person thinks otherwise, that I am the doer of activities, which is carried out by the three modes of material nature. Is it clear now? Because later Krishna will say there are three doers. Okay. What are the three doers? One, living entity is doer as a desirer. Living entity, Paramatma is a doer as a sanctioner. And material nature is doer as a making the things done by the material nature. Okay. Is it clear?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, so this is the. So then somebody may have a doubt. Doubt may arise. See, what is this text 26? The spirit soul, bewildered by the influence of false ego, thinks himself the doer of activities that are in actuality carried out by the three modes of material nature. He himself is not doing. Because as the Atma is in the heart, Atma may desire, and Atma will not make the hand move. I may desire to make the hand move, but the hand is moved by the material nature. But the ignorant person thinks that I am doing this. Okay, ignorant person thinks that I am doing. So doubt may arise. Then how to distinguish a person in knowledge, Vidwan, from the ignorant person? If the man in knowledge also perform actions, how? So text number this which we're discussing, this verse and the next verse, that gives the distinguish. Okay, it should be written by above the text 27. No worries. So text 27 and text 28 gives the distinction between how a person in knowledge and the ignorant person differs, because the ignorant person thinks I am the doer, but how the person in knowledge thinks, that will be in text number 28. Understood now? Clear? Okay. How the
Yes,
person, how the person in knowledge and the person in ignorance, they think. Okay. They, how you will distinguish? So distinguish by verse number 27 and 28. Okay. Now text 28. So how a person in knowledge thinks. तत्वित्तु महाबाहो गुणकर्मा विभागयोः गुणा गुणेषु वर्तन्त इति मत्वा स सज्जते. Tattvavitu Mahabaho, one who is in knowledge of the absolute. So, one who is in knowledge, what he says? He is in the knowledge of absolute. Tattvavitu Mahabaho, a mighty armed, does not engage himself in the senses and sense gratification. He does not engage the senses and the sense gratification. Himself in the senses and sense gratification, knowing well the difference between work in devotion and work without fruitive activities. So he does not, he knows what is the difference. The difference is based on the desire. Okay? Because one is done for the Lord, one is done for something else. Okay? Tattvitu Mahabaho, he thinks. So what is that? Tattvamitu Mahabaho. So intelligent person thinks Tattvavit means he knows the tattvas. What are the tattvas? About the absolute, what is absolute truth? So absolute truth here is Ishvara, Jiva, Prakriti, Karma, Kal. That is together it is absolute truth. So he knows that when he is acting, because a person ignorant, he thinks I am the doer. But who is the doer? So we have seen, further verses. Who is the doer? I told you 13.18 Bhagavad Gita. Like there's a verse, no Karya Karna Krititve Hetur Prakriti Ruchate. So the Prakriti is the doer. Paramatma is the doer as a sanctioner. Then 18.14 Adhishthanam Tatha Karta. He is also the doer. So there are other doers also. Like Paramatma is Adhishthanam. 18, 18.14 and 13.18. But who is Tattvavit? Tattvavit means what? So there are various kind of Tattvavit. One here the Tattvavit is Tattvavit to Mahabaho. He knows the Tattva. What Tattva he knows? Guna Karma Vibhagayo. He knows about the divisions of gunas and action. That is the Tattvavit. Okay, what is the divisions of gunas? Sattva, Rajat, Tamas. Goodness, passion, and ignorance. And Tattva means the in English, in philosophical sense, it is called ontological reality or ontological truth. So here Tattva, which truth? Tattvavit. Vit means he knows. What he knows? Guna karma vibhagayo. He knows the difference between gunas, sattva, rajas, tamas, goodness, passion, ignorance. And what is the karma he knows? He knows the karma, guna and karma. He knows guna means devata is in sattva. Okay, senses are in rajas and sense objects in the tamas. So this he knows that my senses and hands, okay, There are devatas who moving are the sense and my senses. My senses are moved by devatas. Okay, and sense objects are in the ignorance. Senses are in the passion, and devatas in the goodness. So he knows these things. Okay, and then he knows I am Atma. I am not all the senses, not the sense objects. There is no relation with me. So he knows that difference between body and soul, and body is moved by these Adi Devik, Adi Bhautik, Adhyatmik. Like here is Adi Bhautik, the potency of here is Adi Daivik, Adhyatmik, and the Devata is called, the here is Adi Bhuta, sorry. The here is Adi Bhuta, the potency of here is Adhyatma, and the Devata is called Adi Daiva. So he knows that. Or Guna Karma, Guna means he knows the divisions of gunas, means qualities, goodness, passion, ignorance. In goodness, there are Devatas. In passion, there are senses, and in ignorance, there are sense objects. He knows these are at work. The Atma himself is not doing. Okay? So therefore, he knows the divisions of Guneshu. Guna and what is karma, different activities according to the gunas. So he knows that. Okay? So Jiva, he has that understanding. So Jiva is also one of the doer. So he has that understanding. Jiva is also one of the doer. Is it clear? Anybody has any question? Jiva is also one of the doer. Okay. But Prabhupada gives Tattvavid means he knows the absolute truth. What is that? Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagwan. That is also Tattva. Okay. That is also Tattva. Okay. So he knows everything. Brahman means the elements, the qualities and energies. Paramatma means who works with that elements and use everything connected with the Bhagavan. Okay. So this is another understanding. So I don't want to bewilder you, but this is just one of the understanding. Okay. And then how the ignorant will think. Yes. Just I'll finish this. How the ignorant will think, text number 29. So understand, one who is in knowledge of absolute. So absolute truth means who is Lord, Ishvara, Jeev, who is a living entity, what is material nature, Prakriti, what is activities, and what is time. So he knows all this. But here, what knowledge of which part of absolute truth he knows? He knows Guna Karma Vibhagasa, Tattvavid. He knows the Tattva. What Tattva? Guna Karma Vibhagasa. But Prabhupada is translating as absolute truth means one who knows Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagwan. These are the three features of Bhagavan. So he knows everything. He knows because three modes of material nature is what? These are the qualities. But actually, what are these? What are those? They are energies of the Lord. Right? Goodness, devatas are energies of the Lord. Senses and the sense objects are the energies and qualities of the Lord. Devatas, senses, and sense objects are qualities and energies of the Lord. And Lord Bhagavan. So these are the qualities, energies means Brahman platform. But they are interacting, that is Paramatma platform. And these two are connected with Bhagavan. So Prabhupada brings that one who knows, okay, his relationship with these features, he knows the absolute truth. Okay. Next, so what is the person bewildered? He thinks, the bewildered person, what he thinks. Okay. So then he says, the wise person, therefore the wise person, text 29, Prakriter guna sammodaha sajjante guna karmashu tan akrishna vido mandan krishna vinna vichalayet. Bewildered by the modes of nature. What modes? This guna karmashu. So because those who are ignorant, they are bewildered by these modes. They don't know. So the ignorant fully engage themselves in material activities and become attached because they are in the modes, their work as the modes and they are attached. So what are these modes? There are 14 chapters. How they are attached, that will also mention. Understood? These things will be more clarified further. But the wise should not unsettle them. Although these duties are inferior due to the performer's lack of knowledge. So why these duties appear to be inferior? Because of the performer's lack of knowledge. Now got this? So one who knows all these things should not disturb the foolish people. Okay? So if the living entity is separate from the sense and sense objects, Okay. So, okay. So, but people are attached because of the bewilderment of false ego. How people feel attached to the sense and sense object? Tell me how people are feeling attached to the sense and sense objects because of ignorance, because of the three modes. Okay. Okay. Got this? Okay. Now somebody raise the hand. Any question?
Yes, Prabhuji. Does not engage himself in the senses is that identification only, no? What you were saying.
What I said?
Like, does not engage himself in the senses. What is?
Means he does not engage himself in the sense and sense objects, mean in the self. He knows that the soul as a soul is different from the sense and the sense objects, right?
Yes.
But due to false ego, he thinks that I am those senses and the objects are mine. That is the illusion.
Okay. That's why I'm the doer. Yes.
Got this?
Yes. Yes, Prabhuji.
So those who are bewildered by material ignorance, so they think like that. Okay? Yes, Prabhu?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Prabhuji, what is the difference between Brahma Paramatma and Sri Bhagavan?
You don't know this?
Paramatma and Brahma.
See, there are in Vedic system, there are three-tier system of Godhead. So what is there called as Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagwan. Like if you go in an AC, three-tier AC. So what is this Brahman? Like Lord Krishna, from his body the light is coming, that is called Brahman or Brahma Jyoti. Okay. So this Lord Krishna is the absolute truth, but he is viewed by three practitioners in a three different ways. It's just a why they are three because of the practitioner's viewpoint. So the Brahma Jyoti is spread throughout the creation in all the objects. Okay. So therefore these objects are attracted because these are all, this Brahma Jyoti is nothing but qualities and energies of Krishna that is spread throughout the universe. Okay. So all these objects, all the objects of senses, like if you see a car, the senses could see the car becomes a sense objects. If you want to eat an ice cream, the ice cream becomes sense objects. If they are matter, if you think they are matter, so matter, how matter can produce so much qualities? Actually, these are qualities and energies of Krishna manifested here. Actually, it is that. Though it is up, though it is matter, because who makes us matter? Prabhupada says that because we want to enjoy for ourselves, therefore it becomes matter. But it is composed of qualities and energies of Krishna. That is Brahman. But for the Jnani, the same Brahman is just a light. But for the devotee, the Brahman is the intermediate stage. And then there is Paramatma, who is 400. Okay, which is from, and then Paramatma is also the partial expansion of Krishna, who is Bhagavan. Now, example like sun god, sun disk, and sun rays. So, sun rays is Brahma Jyoti, sun disk is Paramatma, and sun god is Bhagavan. Okay, clear now?
Hari Bol, Dhanyavad Prabhuji.
Okay. So, is it clear? Anybody? So, we go to the next verse, right? Yes or no? Okay, so we go to the
Yes,
next verse. So this verse, bewildered by the modes of material nature, the ignorant engage themselves in material activities and become attached. But the wise should not unsettle them. Although these duties are inferior due to the performer's lack of knowledge, because he does not have this knowledge. Okay. So Krishna then says, therefore Arjuna, next he concludes, text 30, he concludes, मयि सर्वाणि कर्माणि सन्न्यास्य अध्यात्म चेतस निराशिर्निर्ममो भूत्वा युद्धस्व विगत ज्वर. Therefore, O Arjun, surrendering all works unto me, my sarvani karmani, with full knowledge of me, with then how you surrender your works unto the Lord? With full knowledge of the Lord. Okay? Full knowledge of the Lord. Without desire for profit, no attachment to the result, with no claims for proprietorship. Proprietorship, this is mine, this is no, and free from lethargy, you should fight. Okay, free from lethargy, you should fight. So this is the thing. So give all the results to Krishna, therefore, to me, to himself. Krishna is saying, give the results to me. Mai sarvani karvani. Sannyasa means sannyasa adhyatma chetasa. Sannyasa means giving up completely. Sannyasa is a concept. Adhyatma, with full knowledge of adhyatma. Adhyatma include knowledge of the self and knowledge of the Supreme Lord. Full consciousness, nirased and surrender without any ownership. Okay, surrender to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay, and then you can work. So or you can work for, means in the sense full knowledge of the Lord, means knowledge of Atma and the knowledge of the Lord. That is the thing. Is it clear now? So with that you perform the duty. So Lord is telling Arjuna that the Lord is telling Arjuna, therefore Arjuna surrendering all works unto me with full knowledge of me. So next, full knowledge of me. Surrender unto me. Surrender all your works unto me with full knowledge of me without desire for profit. So next was described the result of acting in this way. What is the result if somebody follows this? Surrendering all the works to Krishna. What will be the result? Text 31. So what will be the result? Ye me matam idam nityam anutishtanti manavah shraddhavanto anusuyanto muchante te api karma bihi. Those person who execute their duties, ye me matam idam nityam, those anutishtanti manava. Manava means person. Those person, anutishtanti means follow, who execute their duties according to my injunction. Ye me matam idam, my, me. Ye me matam, me. Ye me means my. Matam means injunction. My injunction. And who follow these teachings with faith. Shraddhavanto anusuyanto. With proper faith. You should have faith. Okay? With faith. Without envy. We should not envy the Lord. Become free from bondage of fruitive actions. So he will not be attached, means the results, he will not get the karma of the fruits. He will be free from the karmic reactions which comes from the fruits. Okay, got this? He will be free from karmic reactions. So the Lord is telling us that one should follow in his footsteps. Okay, he will be free from the bondage of works. Arjuna was saying though that I'll get reaction. He will be free from the bondage of that works. Is it clear? According to induction. So what happened is somebody does not have faith in the Lord. Somebody does not have faith in the Lord. Next verse described. Not faith in the Lord, does not want to follow. Text 32. Somebody does not have faith in the Lord and not want to follow his teachings. Yetav etat abhay suyanto nanu tishtanti me matam sarvagyana vimudham stan vidinashtan achetasah. But those who, out of envy, disregard these teachings which Krishna is giving and do not follow them regularly, are to be bereft of all knowledge. So they will not get any knowledge, befooled and ruined in their endeavors for perfection. Understood? So they will not get knowledge. So one should have that knowledge of this Tattva, knowledge of Krishna, knowledge of aspect of Krishna. Then see, some activity done with knowledge, you get benefit. So this verse talks about not acting or not having those qualities. So if somebody does not follow this, then what happens? Then he will be ruined. There will be no success. Okay, and he will be befooled and no knowledge. So now next, now Krishna is saying, follow this my teaching of not getting attached to results. But in short, he's saying in between, give the results to me. So in one hand, Arjuna wants success, another hand, ruination. That is Arjuna's choice, what he should do. If he follows Lord's teachings, he will get success. If he does not follow, he will not get success. Okay. Next. So next the question arises. If why do next write it down. Next above verse number 33. Write it down. Verse number 33. Why do people who transgress, Arjuna is asking a question in his mind, a question arises. Why do people who transgress your desire not fear punishment from you, as criminals should fear punishment from a king if he does not? Okay, why this question comes to Arjuna? Why? Because you are giving punishment, so why do people don't follow you? Why do people fear transgressing your desire and not fear punishment from you? People don't fear punishment from the Lord. Okay, so Arjuna is asking, why do people transgress your desire and not fear punishment from you, as criminals should fear punishment from the king? Because here Krishna says in the text 32, but those who out of envy disregard these teachings and do not follow them are bereft of all knowledge, be fooled, and ruined in their endeavors for perfection. Now the question arises, okay, you are saying they will be bereft of knowledge, so you are telling them, so you are telling them to follow, but there are some people who transgress your desire, means not want to follow. So even they transgress, they don't fear punishment from you. Okay, like a criminal, should fear punishment from a king, no, but they don't fear. So why this happens? So Krishna explains in text number 33. Okay, so what is this text number 33? Krishna explains. Okay, so is it clear? Anybody has any question? So text number 33. Sadrisham cheshtate svasyah prakritirjnanavaanapi prakritim yanti bhutani nigraha kim karishyati. Even a man of knowledge acts according to his own nature. For everyone follows the nature he has acquired from the three modes. What can repression accomplish? So there are people who are in the modes. So they are in the modes, they follow according to the modes. So how can you stop them? How can you tell them? Follow Krishna's instruction. Not possible. Okay. So everyone has their own particular nature according to his own nature. Even a man of knowledge act according to his own nature. So own nature means nature which he acquired from goodness, passion, and ignorance. So he act according to his own nature. So whatever nature is acquired from the modes. So how can you forcefully tell them, oh, you follow Krishna, you follow his instruction? Not possible, because he is according to his nature. Okay. Now somebody will say, okay, so somebody will say, okay, wrote it down. Next shloka, if we are helplessly, somebody may ask a question, okay, if we all are helpless, forced to act according to our nature, or somebody may say, you can write it down, if all are helplessly forced to act according to our natures, according to this verse, okay, so we are acting according to our nature. How? Which nature? Goodness, passion, ignorance, which come from three modes. Then what is the use of rules in Shastra? What is the use of so many rules in the scriptures to regulate our activities? Why? Already we are acting according to nature, and you are saying, Krishna, that you cannot repress, you cannot accomplish by repressing them. So what is the use of so many rules in the scriptures? So next verse answer, text number 34. Are you getting the what do you say, connection? Yes.
Yes, Prabhu.
Anybody has any question? No? Okay, so we proceed.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. So text 34. इन्द्रियस्य अर्थे रागद्वेषौ विवस्थितौ तयोर्न वशम् आगच्छेत् तौ है अस्य परिपन्थिनौ. So why there are rules? You got the question? So there are principles to regulate. So why there are rules in the scripture? So he's saying rules are there. Why? There are principles to regulate our attachment and aversion pertaining to the senses and the sense objects. So means somebody is attached to gulab jam, okay, and somebody is averse to other items. But there are rules and regulation given. So why there is a given example. So there are principles are there to regulate eating habits. Everywhere there are principles in scriptures to regulate our the particular type of attachment and aversion. So how they come attachment pertaining to the senses and their sense objects. So one should not come under the control of such attachment and aversion. Should not come because they are stumbling blocks on the path of self-realization. So this attachment to aversion and sorry, attachment and aversion is called duality. So one should not come under it. So therefore, scriptures provide rules and principles to regulate it. Okay. So how, why they provide regulation? Why one should control the attachment and aversion? Because if you are attached, you will not take to Krishna consciousness. You will not progress in spiritual life. And if you are even averse, so this is the duality. So get out of this duality. So therefore, some rules are given. So why to get out of the duality? If you get out of the duality, because they are stumbling blocks on the path of self-realization. To get to the self-realization, you should come from out of this duality. This duality is based on bodily concept of life. I will do, I will like it, I will do it. I will don't like it, I will not do it. But here Krishna is telling Arjuna, whether you like or don't like, you do it for my pleasure. Understood? So liking is attachment, not liking is aversion. Yes, Pallavi Mataji.
Yes, my question is related to that. Aversions means
Aversion means not like. So like and dislike is duality. Like for example, you like gulab jam to eat. Okay. If you don't get gulab jam during prasadam, you will say, "Eh, what is this? This is not good now." So you will feel aversion. But when you take Krishna prasad, whether you like gulab jam or not, if you're not getting gulab jam, you got some rabdi. But it is Krishna prasad. Will you not take it?
yes, definitely we will take.
So similarly, when you do it for the pleasure of the Lord, you get out of this duality. Understood now?
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you.
So you can get off this rag and dvesh. So therefore it is prescribed. So how to do? Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says another thing. If you want, I'll show you the the quotation. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that attachment is rag and dvesh. So attachment, how will overcome this attachment and these things? Okay. So sometimes people give scriptures describe giving gifts to others' wife. So these are all forbidden. But giving gifts to or serving and seeing, touching the guru, brahmana, holy places, devotees, and visitors. So these are all allowed. Okay, so you should know where your attachment is applied, where your aversion is applied. So if you are attached, you should get attached to the Lord and His devotees and devotion service. If you are averse to the person who is against these principles. Okay, got this? So these are the important thing. Got this?
Yes, Prabhu.
So Prabhupada also write, see this. You will read this, you only read till here.
Okay. Those who are in Krishna consciousness are naturally reluctant to engage in material sense gratification, but those who are not in such consciousness should follow the rules and regulations of the revealed scriptures. Unrestricted sense enjoyment is the cause of material engagement, but one who follows the rules and regulations of the
Does not become entangled. Example. Okay, read this. Why it is blocked? Hare Krishna, are you able to hear me? Hari Bol. Hari Bol.
Yes, Prabhuji, voice is clear.
But Mother's voice is paused. So you can read Ramagan Proof from here.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So you
For
have to
example, sex enjoyment is a necessity for the conditioned soul, and sex enjoyment is allowed under the license of marriage ties. According to the scriptural injunctions, one is forbidden to engage in sex relationships with any woman other than one's wife. All other women are to be considered as one's mother.
So got this. So these are the regulation, rules and regulation again. Because then otherwise it will create stumbling blocks. It will block your spiritual life. If you don't follow certain rules and regulation, it will block your spiritual life. Okay, is it clear now? It will block your spiritual life. Okay, anybody has any question? Okay. So we are in text number 34, no? Yes. So by following these principles in regulation, okay. So therefore one should, Krishna says, therefore one should perform our duties, okay, not following others' duties. So Krishna says one should follow the duties by, okay, rather than following others' duty. See in text number 35, what Krishna says in next verse. So Krishna is again stressing Arjuna that Arjuna, you should perform your prescribed duties. If I switch off my video, everyone switch off. Please switch on the videos if possible. The next verse, therefore, again Krishna stresses that we should perform our prescribed duties. Okay, to telling Arjuna, therefore, it is very dangerous to give up one's duty and try to follow someone else's path. So dangerous to give up one's duty means Arjuna was trying to give up his Kshatriya duty and following the path of, mendicant. But Krishna is saying, no, you should do your prescribed duties. Okay, next verse, text number 35. Okay. श्रयन् स्वधर्मो विगुणः परधर्मात् स्व अनुष्ठितात् स्वधर्मे निधनं श्रेयः परधर्मो भयावह. It is far better to discharge one's prescribed duties, even though faultily, than another's duties perfectly. Okay? Destruction in the course of performing one's own duty is better than engaging another's duty, for to follow another's path is dangerous. To follow another's path is very dangerous. So even if you're not able to perform a duty, still you perform. Okay? But if you just, even if you're not able to perform a duty, but you are following another's duty, that is very dangerous. That you should not do. Okay? So therefore, you should follow your own prescribed duty. Okay? So one should perform our duties, whatever situation, whatever condition. Okay? So Arjuna, your duty as a Kshatriya, though it is killing, it is fighting. So you should not do others' duty as non-violence. No, your duty is because of your God, your nature is you should fight, but you fight for Lord's pleasure. Understood now? So you have that because you got this nature according to three modes, according to mode of passion, that you are a Kshatriya. So you should follow your own duty rather than, you should not do others' duty, because others' duty doing is very bhayavaha, very dangerous. Okay. Okay, got this? So next
Yes.
verse. Okay. So next verse, text 36. So Arjuna, next, after hearing, after hearing about the glories of one's prescribed duties. So Arjuna heard that one should perform a duties, very nice, rather than doing others' duty. So Arjuna heard the glories of one's prescribed duties. So he became enthusiastic. Now you also, people will hear about the duties, then you'll become enthusiastic and took a vow to become strict followers of dharma. We should follow our duty. Okay. But if you follow the duty, but without attachment to the results. But sometimes such noble attempts, life has seen, even if you do such noble attempts, it is very difficult to sustain, right? very difficult to sustain. Even if you want to do, there are some stumbling blocks are there, very difficult to sustain. I'm doing my duties, but still. So why is it so hard to follow a prescribed duty? Why? So next verse is the answer, text 34. So therefore, Arjuna asked a question. So next is why it is so hard to follow the duty. Understood now? Are you getting? Which verse? Okay, text 36 is done. Yes. So next, Arjuna, now after hearing that glories of prescribed duty, Arjuna asked a question. Okay, now Krishna, you told me about a prescribed duty. Now I am ready to act according to my duty. Yes, I'm ready now. I'm ready. I'll follow my duty. I'm ready to follow the duty. Okay? Whatever you said, it is very interesting. And I will act according to Shastra, Arjuna is saying. Okay? Then, but experience, like I said, no, experience teaches that one may be having inspired to do our duties, but sometimes it is very difficult. So Arjuna asked a question in text number 36. Why Arjuna asked a question? What is that question? That you, Arjuna asked, write it down, the question before text 36. That you explain that one must always do his duty. Still, it is very difficult, Krishna, because there is something who forces us to abandon our duty and act sinfully, even against our will. What is that force? Like somebody wants to do a duty without attachment to the results. I don't want to attach to it. Okay, now, so it is inspiring. We have to have knowledge of Krishna. When you do duty, prescribed duty or karma yoga without attachment to the results, then we get knowledge. You'll attain the supreme. Krishna said, no, those verses previously. But we see there are some obstacle comes which forces us to don't act according to that duty. What is that force? So Arjuna asked in text 36. Okay. So 36 to 43, Arjuna will talk about lust. Arjuna vacha atakena pariktoyam papam chariti purushah anichan api varshneya balat eva niyojitah. Arjuna said, O descendant of Vrishni, by what is one impelled to sinful acts, even unwillingly, as if engaged by force. Now understood? Somebody is willing to do duties. So okay, but still one is force. Why? So Krishna will answer Arjuna's question. Is it clear? Are you getting the flow of Gita now again? Yes?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So the sinful activities, Prabhupada writes, are not, however, impelled by super soul. Somebody may say, no, Paramatma inspire, but are due to another cause. See, Prabhupada writes in 36 purport. Do you see? Can somebody read the purport? Yes, Pallavi Mataji, read the purport. Very interesting.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, why the sinful action, why the topic is changed here in like sinful action? I don't
Now,
understand.
topic has not changed. Arjuna, now see the series of verses previously. Arjuna told Karma Yoga chapter first. Arjuna asked a question. Oh Krishna, that in third chapter, first verse, Arjuna asked a question. This one will put the fan. Arjuna asked a question that either you tell me to act or tell me to renounce work. So Krishna says, rather than renouncing, work in devotion. Work without attachment to the result. So work for yajna. Then he says, he says, if you don't want to work for yajna, but work for the demigods, give it to somebody. If you don't give, you are a sinful person, you will be thief. But the devotees, they give it to the Lord, they accept the thing, they don't get sinful. Why? Because sin will create obstacle in devotion service. Then Krishna says, even if you are feeling knowledge, if you think you are in knowledge, 17, 19, still you act for setting an example for others, like King Janaka did, I also did. Okay, so if you do this, then he said, don't disturb them. Even if you act in such a way, don't disturb the mind of the ignorant people. All the series of verses. He said, so therefore, Arjuna, you do your prescribed duty, give all the results to me. Okay. So then Arjuna is thinking, okay, now you talk about prescribed duties and all, but I want to do it now, act according to Shastra. So Krishna says, no, one who act my instruction, ye me matam idam nityam anutishtanti manava, will act according to me, he'll be get knowledge. Okay, but those who don't listen to me, he'll be befooled, bereft of knowledge. So Arjuna says, now it's so good benefit that if I act according to your understanding, that Arjuna is thinking, if I act without having a result, performing a result as a yagya, okay, or Bhagavad Arpit Nishkam Karam, that if you act and give the result to Krishna, then you give knowledge, you get knowledge. So Arjuna saying, I am now happy to follow the prescribed duties, which of like his duty was of a Kshatriya, others' duties, whatever your duties, not getting attached to the result, but the goal is to please the Supreme, whatever. But there is something who, when while doing the duty, we are not able to perform it. Sometimes we get deviated from our duties. So what is that force which forces us to get deviate? So therefore Arjuna is asking us. Understood now? So what makes us get deviate from the duty? Like today you will do the duty after hearing Gita and oh wow, we do for Krishna. The next day you forget. What is that? So now Krishna is answering this section. Got this?
Yes, project forgetting is another. But sinful action every time this is not happen. Na? Ki
But
har वक्त
here sinful action is what? Because unless we don't follow Lord's instruction, that is sinful. How do you define sin? Sin means disobedience to the principles or laws of God. That is sin.
okay.
Okay. See, you read
Okay.
Prabhupada's purport. You only read. You'll get the read slowly, nicely. Okay, read it.
A living entity, as part and parcel of the Supreme, is originally spiritual, pure, and free from all material contaminations. Therefore, nature, by nature, he is not subject to the sins of the material world. But when he is in contact with the material nature, he acts in many sinful ways without hesitation, and sometimes even against his will. As okay, here only, na, Prabhuji?
Read, continue.
As such, Arjuna's question to Krishna is very what is this word, Prabhuji?
Very sanguine. Very
Sanguine.
sanguine
As
to the perverted nature of the living entities. When the
although
perverted
the living
real nature of the living entity is to servant of Krishna, because we have eternal relation with him. But now living entity is acting against that nature, that is perverted. Understood? So that is sinful.
okay,
Although the living entity sometimes does not want to act in sin, he is still forced to act. Sinful actions are not, however, impelled by super soul within, but are due to another cause, as Lord explained in the next verse. So how it acts? Now got this? How do you mean by
yes,
sin?
yes,
Sin means, I'll show you Ishopanishad. Sin means, in Ishopanishad, I think so, Nectar of Instruction, either of the both. In Nectar of Instruction, I think so. I will have to just check. Sin means disobedience to the will of God. That is actually sin. Okay?
okay. Now I understood. Prabhuji.
That is sin. So if you don't act according to Lord's instruction, then you will act according to your own whims and whimsical ways. Otherwise, what you are acting, you will have your own ideology of the world. You will have their own ideology of what do you say about the world. You will have your, so you will have your own, but that may be sometimes flukily right, and sometimes, always, most of the time, it is sin. Most of the time, it is against the will of the Lord. So that is sinful. Okay. See, Prabhupada writes here. I'll show you. It is in Ishopanishad only. I'll just show you. You only read. 1 minute. Everyone pay attention. See, this is sin. Can you read this?
Yes.
Read.
Uh, okay. The root of sin is deliberate disobedience of the laws of nature through disregarding the proprietorship of the Lord. Okay.
Understood now?
Yes, yes, Prabhuji.
So I have reference every time. I cannot show reference. because I have to just search. Okay. So now Krishna will next answers Arjuna's question. That text 36 to 43 will be beware of lust and anger. So Krishna answers in text 37 Arjuna's question. What is that? Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Kama Esha Krodha Esha Rajuguna Samudbhava Mahasano Mahapapma Vidhi Enam Iha Vairinam. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, it is lust only, Arjun, which is born of contact with material modes of passion and later transformed into wrath, and which is all devouring sinful enemy of the world. So lust means enjoying separate from the Lord. So that is called lust. So it is lust, Arjun, which stops you from doing your prescribed duty. Lust means enjoying for yourself, separate from the Lord. You don't want Lord, so that is called lust. Okay? So this is called lust. Understood now? Okay, that is called lust. So lust, how the lust comes? It is comes which is born of contact of material modes of passion. So, and later transformed into wrath, and which is all devouring sinful enemy of this world. So it is lust, Arjun, which is born of the which lust which stops us to do prescribed duty. What is lust? Means self-enjoyment. That is stops us from doing our prescribed duty, because we are doing the duty for the Lord, right? But if you do it not for the Lord, then you'll do it for whom? You'll do it for yourself, right? Wrath means intense anger, that is called. So lust. So lust transforms into anger. So lust, if your enjoyment is there, okay, if it comes, so man is urged generally by lust, so then he engages in sin. So it is from the lust transforms into anger. And from where the lust arises? From mode of passion. So from the lust mode of passion arises anger in mode of ignorance. So anger is in a mode of ignorance. Understood now all this? So Arjuna, okay, got this? So somebody may think, that when somebody has a desire, he get that object, his desire is fulfilled. You have seen in your life, the desires are never fulfilled. You get more desire, right? So why this is happening? Because the desires cannot satisfy you. Unless you desire to please Krishna, then you will get satisfied. Why this happens? So Krishna says, because of the lust. It is said it is impossible to satisfy anybody's desire. So lust cannot be controlled by, making, okay, lust cannot be, what is it? You cannot make a friend with lust by giving him, okay, I'll fulfill your desire. Some people say, no, sambhog se samadhi. I don't name them, but they say no. So, Acharya is right that one cannot make friend with lust. Okay, I'll enjoy a lustful propensity, then it will stop. Today, I want to eat ice cream, I want to eat, I want to fulfill. So you get, oh, now I'm satisfied. No, you'll get, if like, you'll get, if somebody wants to get a bag, oh, I want bag, and very bag has so much zips and everything. Somebody get the bag, or somebody gets a, dress, whatever, or somebody gets a new laptop, or somebody gets anything. But you see, a better bag or better laptop or better dress comes, somebody wants that more. So just by fulfilling the lust, that is called dana, it will not come under control. Now by sam, or not by bhed, or not by only the ways, only by the danda, or by engaging in Lord's service. Are you getting this?
Yes,
Is it
Prabhuji.
clear? So only by engaging in Lord's service, lust can be under control. Otherwise, very dangerous lust is. So what is the effect? So effect of the lust will be explained in the next verse. How the lust covers. What are the effect of lust? How lust covers? Text number 38. Okay. Okay, got this? धूमेना विर्यते वह्निर् यथादर्शो मलेन च यथोल्बेनावृतो गर्भास् तथा तेनेदम् avritam. Okay, so as fire covered by smoke, as mirror covered by dust, as an embryo covered by the womb, the living entity is similar covered by the different degrees of this lust. So these different degrees of the lust are covered by the living entities. The different degrees of lust. So Baldev Vidyabhushan explains in his commentary to this verse. What he explains, Baldev Vidyabhushan, in his commentary to this verse, that same way the knowledge is covered by this lust. Lust covers the knowledge. Which knowledge? The knowledge of Atma and the knowledge of the Supreme Lord. The lust covers. So the knowledge covered slightly by lust can grasp a truth. So what is that slightly? The knowledge covered moderately by lust cannot grasp the truth. A knowledge covered intensely by the lust cannot function and cannot even perceive that as knowledge. So slightly covered by knowledge, slightly covered by lust is the example of a fire and smoke. Moderately, as mirror is covered by dust, and mirror covered by dust, and so lust intensely covered by lust, that is the embryo. So knowledge, lust, what it covers, a knowledge of relationship with the Lord, that it covers. How much you enjoy, that much your knowledge in connection with Krishna will be covered. Okay, you're not able to perceive that knowledge. This. So Prabhupada also wrote in the previous purport, na? Okay. Okay, it's a lust. Okay. Prabhupada also write lust changes to mode of ignorance. Okay. Prabhupada writes.
Prabhuji, Prabhupada is also compared it to the consciousness.
Prabhupada, what?
Prabhupada compared
there are 3 degrees.
consciousness.
So what is, see, Prabhupada writes, there are 3 degrees of covering of living entity, by which is pure consciousness. What do you mean by pure consciousness? A servant of Krishna. That is covered. Okay. So pure consciousness of a living entity is Jivera Swarupa hai Krishna Nityadas. See this. Prabhupada further writes. Okay. This you understood? Okay, now read this. Somebody else want to read? They want to volunteer to read? Raise a hand. Anybody wants to volunteer? Pallavi Mataji, you take the name. That is the best way. They will read. Take the name.
Okay, Prabhuji. Saurabh Prabhuji, would you like to read, Prabhuji? Saurabh Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Shubhangi Mataji.
Yes, Master.
Are you there?
Yes, yes. When lust is compared to smoke, it is understood that the fire of the living spark can be a little perceived. In other words, when the living entity exhibits his Krishna consciousness slightly, he may be likened to the fire covered by smoke. Although fire is necessary where there is smoke, there is no overt manifestation of fire in the early stage. Prabhuji, do I have to continue?
Continue.
This stage is like the beginning of Krishna consciousness. The dust on the mirror refers to a cleansing process of the mirror of the mind by so many spiritual methods. The best process is to chant the holy names of the Lord.
Okay, so Prabhupada writes, then embryo covered by womb, is a helpless position of a child. So like now you understood, my whole purpose is to show this, how lust covers the real knowledge. Understood?
Yes, Prabhuji.
That's the whole purpose, to show how lust covers the real knowledge. So lust is therefore the ultimate enemy, and it is very powerful. You cannot destroy the lust very easily. So how to destroy it? How can somebody destroy the lust? Enjoying cannot be destroyed easily. Okay? And it is non-satisfied. So next explains Krishna explains further the how Krishna explains further about the lust, how it is very bad, more bad. Krishna explains about the lust, how it is more bad. Next. Avritam jnanam etena jnanino nityavairina tham rupena kaunteya dushparena nalena cha. Thus, therefore, conclusion, the wise living entity's pure consciousness becomes covered by his eternal enemy in the form of lust, which is never satisfied and which burns like fire, which is never satisfied and it burns like fire, which is very difficult. We cannot conquer the lust, but lust can be used in Lord's service. When you do it for pleasing the Lord, it subsides. Okay, it's an eternal enemy. Otherwise, it subsides. Now somebody have a question. Write it down. Somebody has a question. So it is so powerful that one will be fearful now after hearing this. How can we conquer this? Very difficult. It is very dangerous. So Krishna explains where to find the lust and why it is so dangerous. Okay, Krishna says, where to find lust is in senses. Right? It's very dangerous. So how to conquer this? Okay. So Krishna says how to conquer this. Next verse from text 40 he will say. Text first, how to conquer this enemy and to know where the lust hides. The lust hides in the mind, senses and intelligence. Okay. Where the lust hides? First, to conquer the enemy, you should know the enemy, where it is hiding, whether it's coming from heart, where it is. So Krishna next explains where the enemy is hiding and how to conquer it. Text 40. Okay. Indriyani mano buddhir asya dishthanam uchyate eter vimohayate esha jnanam avritta dehinam. The senses, the mind, and the intelligence are the sitting places of this lust. So where the lust sits? Senses, mind, and intelligence. Through them, lust covers the real knowledge of living entities. See, it comes real knowledge of the living entities. Okay? And bewilders him. So real knowledge means what? Knowledge of absolute truth. Jnanam avritya dehinam, knowledge of the absolute truth, covers the real knowledge of the absolute truth. So this is the situating where our lust is situated in mind, intelligence, and senses. Okay, so it has a strong hold. And how will you conquer it? So Krishna will explain. So Krishna in text 40 told you the position of the lust, where it is situated. Okay, it's told you where it is situated. How to, you should not fear where the enemy is. Now how to conquer lust? Text number 41. Text number 41. How to conquer the lust. Text number 41. Okay. Text 40, where the lust resides, and text 41, how to conquer it. Tasmat, therefore, tvam indriyani adao niyamya bharatarshava papmanam prajahiyenam jnana vijnana nashanam. My God. Therefore, Arjun, best of the Bharatas. So in the beginning stage, what to do? In the very beginning, curb this great symbol of sin by regulating the senses. And slay this destroyer of knowledge and self-realization. Jnana vijnana. Jnana means knowledge and self-realization. Everything will be destroyed by this. So one should first stop our senses. Means not work, no. Why? Regulate our senses. Like somebody go outside, you see the billboards. So very, very dirty photos. So one should just look here and go. This is one stage, is the beginning stage. Okay. So because further Krishna will say how to do this. This is the beginning stage. First, stop the senses. Now, text 42. Okay, he will explain. Follow the instruction. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, follow the instruction of Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. Shastra says this is right, this is right. This is wrong, this is wrong. Okay. So Guru says, Sadhu says, okay, follow. Okay, seeing something bad thing, just look here. Okay, just don't think on that. First, regulate the senses. Okay, then what to do is text number 42. Indriyani paranyahur. Indri, how to regulate it? Next, he explained. First, in the beginning, you regulate the senses. Like, tortoise. We give the example now. Tortoise, kurma vignaha in second chapter. So it is explained. How? First, regulate the senses. Then, 42. Indriyani paranyahur. Indriyebhya param manah. Manasastu para buddhir. Yo buddhe paratastu saha. The working senses are superior to dull matter. Working senses means your senses is superior to dull matter. Mind is higher than the senses. Intelligence is still higher than the mind. And he, the soul, is even higher than the intelligence. So understand? So by strength of your soul. So what is soul? Soul is servant of Krishna. So while strength of Krishna conscious, you stop your senses in the beginning, regulate it, but engaging in Lord's service. Engaging in the souls, engaging in the activity of soul. So what is activity of soul? Means in relation to the Lord. And soul is high. If you are Krishna conscious, then you will be sense controlled. If you are not sense controlled, you will never be Krishna conscious. Because if you are conscious of Krishna, you see everything in connection. But first you regulate it, then think of Krishna. Engaging in Krishna's service. By gradually, it will happen. Okay? Is it clear?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, see, Prabhupada writes, somebody wants to read this?
Means we can't control the senses, but we have to regulate and
Yeah, this is the biggest illusion that somebody may say, I want to control the senses. Not possible at all. So therefore, you go to mind control classes, but still your mind is controlled. You pay thousands of money. Oh, art of mind control and do like this. Then nothing happens. Still your mind will go. Easiest way, you are soul. So engaging in the activity of soul, by that, all the intelligence, mind and senses will be purified. Do it for the pleasure of the Lord. Think of Lord. Because further, 8th chapter Krishna will say, you think of me and do your duty. Then your senses will be automatically controlled. Okay, so Prabhupada writes, therefore, in
Yes.
Krishna consciousness, the soul make direct connection with the Lord. Therefore, hierarchy of bodily functions are described here. Ultimately ends in supreme soul. Bodily action means function of the senses, and stopping the senses means stopping all bodily action. So can anybody do practical household people? No, I'm not going to cook because senses are troubling me. I'll sit like this. I'm not going to work because senses are troubling me. My God, I said. No, you should see in connection with the Lord. So how to see? Chapter 7, 8, 9. Understood now? Because Krishna will explain everything is my energy. Okay. So see, Prabhupada writes here. See, somebody will say, but above the mind is the intelligence of therefore soul. See, can you see this purport? The soul is directly engaged with the supreme. Naturally, all other subordinates, namely the intelligence, mind, and senses, will automatically be engaged. Can somebody see this? Got?
Yes,
Okay.
got it.
See, and next he says, in Kathopanishad, the similar passage in which it is said that the objects of sense gratification are superior to senses and the mind is superior to the sense objects. If therefore the mind is directly engaged in the service of the Lord constantly, then there is no chance of sense will become engaged in other ways. This mental attitude is explained param dishtva. So your consciousness, mind is the projection of your consciousness. So what is the function of senses? Senses give information to the mind. So mind accept and reject based on intelligence. and intelligence will discriminate based on your consciousness. So if you change your consciousness, everything changes. If you are God consciousness or Krishna consciousness, then everything becomes okay. I'm sorry, I just by mistake it happens. Oh, I went. Back is also not here. Sorry. I just my it. Sorry. So we are in text number 3 point. What was that? 42, na?
Yes.
All right. 3 point. So yes. So here it is. So by the strength of Krishna consciousness, one can conquer. So easiest way now. How many of you find it easy? How many of you find as being Krishna conscious is easier than rather dealing going to this class, that class, heading? It's very difficult. They can become a tool, but very Arjuna himself rejected this yoga classes. Okay. The soul is highest, and intelligence and mind and senses. The soul is highest, then by strength of Krishna conscious, one can control this lust. Text number 43. Okay. So Krishna will text number 43. Krishna will talk about that. Okay. So we'll read this. Evam buddhe param buddhva samstabhyatmanam atmana jahi shatrum mahabaho kamarupam durashadam. Thus, knowing oneself to be transcendental, because soul is transcendental to the material senses, mind, and intelligence. O mighty armed Arjun, one should steady the mind by deliberate spiritual intelligence. Proper translates Krishna consciousness. Understood? So spiritual intelligence, how it will come? Study the mind, spiritual intelligence. So how the spiritual intelligence will come? Tell me. This spiritual intelligence will come by understanding the knowledge of Krishna, Krishna consciousness. So there will be spiritual intelligence by studying the scriptures. Chanakya Pandit says the intelligence is sharpened. So if you study Krishna conscious literatures, think of Krishna, your intelligence will surely be sharpened. Okay. So this Shatru Mahabaho Kama Rupam Evam Buddhe Param Buddhva Samstabhat Adhyatmanam Atmanaha. Atmana means by deliberate intelligence. Okay. So you can easily, that is Krishna conscious, means by strength of Krishna conscious, you can conquer this insatiable lust. Okay. So how then Karma Yoga can be easily performed? Okay. So real Karma Yoga means working for Krishna. Is it clear?
Yes, Guruji.
Okay. So now we'll go to, so by doing Karma Yoga, then you'll get knowledge, right? So by strength of Krishna consciousness, so how? So one should have knowledge, but if you do Karma Yoga without attachment to results, you will get knowledge. So what knowledge you'll get? The knowledge is chapter 4. Okay, because in second and third chapter it says work in knowledge, right? Buddhi Yoga, Yagna, what is that? Chapter 3, verse 9. Yagnartho karmano annatra tattavittu mahabaho. So you'll get this knowledge. So what is that knowledge? What is that knowledge? This is the knowledge which you see in chapter number 4. So what is the connection between chapter 3 and 4? You can write it down. Connection between chapter 3 and 4. Okay, what is the connection? Third chapter, therefore I'm saying you keep reading, you will like it. Third chapter, Krishna says that work in knowledge. Okay, work in knowledge. So you work in knowledge of whom? First, in the beginning stage, somebody does Karma Yoga. There are two types. First is Bhagavad Arpit Karma Yoga, Bhagavad Arpit Nishkam Karma Yoga, and just Nishkam Karma Yoga. So Krishna is telling Arjuna, work without results. You will attain the supreme, you will get knowledge. And then Bhagavad Arpit Nishkam Karma Yoga means one is attached to his own, but not attached to the result. He'll give the result to Krishna. But by giving result to Krishna, he will get more knowledge of Krishna. But in the beginning, person comes, he sees, oh, this is the Lord, I want to give. But then Lord will give him more knowledge. And then afterwards, he will do with the knowledge of the Lord. That is chapter 5. So what is this knowledge? What Krishna, you will get this knowledge, Arjuna, So this is the chapter 4. Okay. Okay, so in chapter 4, you'll get the goal of Nishkam Karma Yoga. What is that? The goal of Nishkam Karma, if you do, you'll get knowledge. So for the Jnani, like Arjuna's thinking, that he will work without results, he'll get the Gyan, knowledge. Because to attain Brahma Jyoti also, he'll have to take knowledge of the Lord. Understood? And for the devotee also, he will get knowledge what? The knowledge of Nishkam Karma Yoga. Okay, write this. So this is the connection. Is it clear how this knowledge comes? Okay. Now, what is the last verse of chapter 3? Then I'll read the first verse of chapter 3. See, again I'll read. Thus, so we heard you. How many of you remember all this yoga ladder? So therefore I'm saying, remember this yoga ladder, remember the previous verses, then you'll find the connection. Thus, knowing oneself to be transcendental to material senses, mind and intelligence, O mighty armed Arjun, one should study the mind by deliberate spiritual intelligence, Krishna consciousness. Means you should be conscious of Krishna. Thus, by spiritual strength, conquer this insatiable enemy known as lust. Lust used in service of Krishna can be conquered. Okay. Then what? How this knowledge of Krishna came? Chapter 4, verse number 1. So verse number 1, Krishna will talk. Verse, write it down. Verse 1 to 3. How this knowledge came, the origin of Bhagavad Gita, ancient origins of Bhagavad Gita, text 1 to 3. Is it clear now? Chapter 4. Anybody has question from chapter 3 to 4? Are you getting the flow?
Means Prabhuji, work in Bhagavad Arpit Nishkam Karma Yoga. This knowledge will reveal to him, Prabhuji.
Yes. So Bhagavad Gita Nishkam Karma Yoga, then how he'll come from Karma Kand to Karma Yoga? You remember the ladder? How he'll come? If he gets a devotee will tell, okay, it is said now in 3rd chapter, do not disrupt the mind of those people. Just engaging. Somebody is a singer, he's very attached to his singing. Okay, you want to sing? Okay, you sing for the Lord. So even though he's singing for the Lord, so he will tell, no, everyone, he will tell, oh, you sing for the Supreme. So at least he has no knowledge of Supreme. He may know he's the Supreme, the singer in the beginning stage. So Bhagavad Arpat, what? He's Arpat, Bhagavad Arpit Nishkam Karma Yoga is what? The singer is attached to his identity. He is attached to his work as a singer, but he is attached to his result also. You know, I'm singing, I want something. So what devotee will does? He's outside is singing for the payment. The devotee will bring him in the temple. He'll tell him to sing for 15 minutes for the Lord. So if he'll sing for the 15 minutes, so he'll start liking, he'll sing for the Lord. The while singing for the Lord, then he will not get any results. He don't want any results. Oh, he is singing for the Lord. If he's not taking any result, because for the Lord, he may come every day, sing for 10-15 minutes, but his heart is getting purified. Then he'll get knowledge in that aspect. And then with knowledge he'll sing, then he's a devotee. Now you understood?
Yes. And if someone do only Nishkam Karma Yoga?
If he just is a Nishkam, then he doesn't know who Krishna is. He'll just sing it, but he'll not attach to the result. But there are some singer, no, they do it selflessly for the benefit of the people, right? So they get moral knowledge, ethics and moral knowledge. Then gradually, or if he's singing to, if he's doing his Nishkam Karma Yoga to attain Brahma Jyoti, then he'll get knowledge of Brahman. But if he therefore with whom he's associating, if he's associating with a Gyan Yogi person, then he'll get that. But if he's associating with a Bhakti Yogi person, then he'll get this. Got this? Even for the Gyanis, Yogis, see, remember, even for the Gyanis, Yogis, and Dhyanis, whatever, they have to have this 4th chapter knowledge. Because without knowledge of even Krishna, they may not achieve Brahman or Paramatma. Okay? But
Yes.
what kind of knowledge? That is also mentioned here. Because without doing bhakti, they cannot attain their respective. So Brahmavadi goes to Brahman, but the Brahmavadi knows that Krishna's body is transcendental. So he has that knowledge. Understood now?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you.
But the Mayavadi, they don't have that. Are all of you getting this? If you are not getting, I'll explain everything again. And Ramakant Prabhu, you came, you didn't heard first two classes. So that is the biggest problem. First previous classes, okay, you hear this. Otherwise,
Prabhuji,
now if any question you can ask. Yes, Ramakant Prabhu.
Prabhuji, in the chapter 3, verse number 43, last one, I have Hindi version of Bhagavad Gita. Here is a line, Prabhuji, that प्रभुत्व and इंद्रिय तृप्ति की इच्छाएं बद्ध जीव की परम शत्रु हैं. प्रभुत्व ये क्या है?
I
What is
don't know.
this?
Don't ask me anything Hindi, Prabhu.
Okay, Prabhuji,
You
sorry.
know this. How can you ask me? Well, I don't
Okay.
know. I don't know Hindi word. I'm teaching you from English. You have so much Hindi. I don't know Prabhutta, Vibhutta.
Yes,
I
okay,
know
Prabhuji,
Hindi.
sorry.
I can speak Hindi, but so much Hindi I don't know. You will take English book and read. Okay.
Yeah, sir. Sorry,
Okay.
Prabhuji.
Now chapter 4, verse 1 to 3. Ancient origins of Bhagavad Gita. Okay. Now write it down. Above that, verse 1 to 15. Verse 1 to 15 will be knowledge about Krishna. Transcendental knowledge about Krishna. Write it down. And within that, verse 1 to 3, ancient origins of Bhagavad Gita. Are you all getting the flow or not? Hmm?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
What about others?
Yes, Prabhuji.
What was Soumya ji? Are you getting? People are there or not behind the videos? Yes, Pranav Gopal, are you getting the flow? Haribol. Gauri Mataji.
She messaged
Yes,
in chat
Prabhuji.
box.
Okay, you are all getting. Okay. Pranav, is he there or not? Okay, anyway. Soumya Mataji, are you getting or not? Flow of Gita.
Yes, Prabhuji. It's very nice, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Okay, so without working for results, you'll get this knowledge. Now, verse 1 to 3, origins of Bhagavad Gita. Okay, text 1. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Imam Vivasvate Yogam Proktavan Aham Avyayam Vivasvan Manve Praha Manur Ikshvakave Abravit. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, my it is displayed. You can see the text now?
Yes, Prabhuji, we can.
Oh, the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, Shri Krishna, Lord Shri Krishna said, I instructed this imperishable science of yoga to sun god Vivasvan, and Vivasvan instructed it to Manu, the father of mankind. And Manu in turn instructed it to Ikshvaku. So this is the Bhagavad Gita, right? Means it is coming from the subtle to gross. Subtle means the Vivasvan, from Vivasvan to Manu, from Manu to King Ikshvaku. So the Bhagavad Gita is coming from subtle to gross. I gave this knowledge to Vivasvan. Who's Vivasvan? So our sun god is Vivasvan. His name is Vivasvan. So where Bhagavad Gita is spoken, now Prabhupada writes when the Bhagavad Gita was spoken. There's very many millions of years ago. Okay. Okay. The history of Bhagavad Gita. So I'll show you in the purport it is. It's quoted from Mahabharata. Pallai Mataji, you take the name. Somebody wants to read this. Read this
Yes,
whole
Prabhuji.
paragraph. Read it. So when Bhagavad Gita was spoken, read it.
Yes. Pranitha Mataji.
Yes. So, in the beginning of the millennium known as Treta Yuga, the science of the relationship with the Supreme was delivered by the Vivasan to Manu. Manu, being the father of mankind, gave it to his son Maharaja Ikshvaku, the king of this earth planet and the forefather of the Raghu dynasty, in which Lord Ramchandra appeared. Therefore, Bhagavad Gita existed in human society from the time of Maharaja Ikshvaku. At the present moment, we have just passed through 5,000 years of the Kali Yuga, which last 4,32,000 years. Before this, there was Dwapar Yuga, which was around 8 lakh years. And before that, there was Treta Yuga, which was around much more years. There's some 2,005,000 years ago, Manu spoke the Bhagavad Gita to his disciple and son Maharaja Ikshvaku and the king of this planet Earth. The age of the current Manu is calculated to the last 305, 300,000 years, of which 1,204,000 have passed. Accepting that before the birth of the Manu, the Gita was spoken by the Lord to his disciple, the sun god Vivasan one. A rough estimate is that the Gita was spoken at least 1,204,000 years ago, and in the human society, it has been extant for 2 million years. It was re spoken by the Lord again to Arjuna about 5,000 years ago. That is the rough estimate of the history of the Gita. According to the Gita itself and according to the version of the speaker, Lord
Okay.
Krishna.
Got this? Rough estimate is there. Rough is not the actual. The Gita is spoken much more. Gita is eternal. Now, so this is Krishna. So this is the history of Gita. It's so ancient. Okay. Got this? It's so ancient. Okay. Got this?
In Prabhuji, in
Yes.
human society, it has been extended for 2 million years. Means when
Extendment, it is there, but it is not. Some people, devotees were there. Some may know, but it was not spread like, you know, it was not. It was there. Some people were there little bit. Okay, when Kalki avatar will come. So there will be some devotee, one or two devotees will be there. Some few families will be there. It's not like completely one or two family or one or two somebody will be there. So extendment was, it was not available to the whole society. Other scriptures were there, but Gita was not there. Got this?
yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. Now how it Gita came down? So Gita came down in parampara. Parampara means like universities. Okay. So text 2. How Gita came? It came in parampara. So this is, so this is the, now this parampara which Krishna explained in the first verse, it came from sun god Vivaswan to Manu, Manu to Ikshvaku. So this parampara is Kshatriya parampara. Okay. But if you see in Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada writes the parampara right from our present Acharya. Right? We have seen. That is sages parampara. This parampara is Raj Rishi parampara. Means the kings, they were saintly. Raj Rishi. Raja means king. Rishi means saintly. Raj Rishi parampara. But the parampara explained in the beginning, that is sages parampara. This is the difference. Okay. Sages parampara
Prabhuji,
and Raj Rishi parampara. Yes.
yes. Prabhuji, one Mataji asked once that why Arjuna's name is not there in Parampara. Though Krishna told directly to Arjuna Bhagavad Gita, and why his name is not there in
Now he's telling
Parampara.
Arjuna how it is came. So he's taking the name of those Kshatriya kings. So therefore he's inspiring Arjuna. So now only he's taking, how will he take Arjuna's name? Because he's speaking in the present, no? He's speaking directly to Arjuna. Okay, so how will he speak? He's speaking that Arjuna, see, the sun god, Vivaswan, they came, then it came down from there to king, to Manu. Manu for Ikshvaku. Ikshvaku, because they were all in Ikshvaku dynasty, no? Surya Vamsha Kshatriya. Okay. Lord
Yes.
Ramachandra, Ikshvaku dynasty. So these were there. So he's telling to Arjuna, how can you take Arjuna's name? And that is sages parampara. Prabhupada, then above Prabhupada is Bhakti Saraswati Maharaj, then Bhaktivinoda Thakur, like this. Got this? Then Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj, like this. Okay, now how it came? Evam param evam parampara praptam imam rajarshi yo viduhu sakalena mahata yoga nashtah parantapa. This supreme science was thus received through the chain of disciplic succession, and the saintly kings Raj Rishi understood in that way. Saintly king. But in course of time, the succession was broken. It is okay, it was broken, and therefore the science, it appears to be lost, but somewhere people were having. They appears to be lost, but there were some people, they were having this knowledge. Okay. So it came from disciplic succession, but by the influence of time, it was okay. So same science, Krishna says, I'm explaining it to you, Arjuna. Why Krishna is explaining to Arjuna this science? Explain in text 3. स एवयं मया तेद्य योग प्रोक्तः पुरातन भक्तोऽसीमि सखा चेति रहस्यं हे एतदुत्तमम्. स एवं मया तेद्य. स evam, certainly I am speaking maya tedya, giving it to you. The very ancient science of the relationship with the Supreme. So yoga means relationship with the Supreme. Is today told by me to you. Why? Bhakto semi sakha cheti. Because you are my devotee and the friend. So therefore, you can understand the mystery of the sand. Unless you are not a devotee, not a friend, you will never understand Krishna. So many academic scholars, PhD scholars, they study this. So they don't understand that devotional service is the conclusion of Bhagavad Gita. Okay, understood? And how to do devotional service? That is Srimad Bhagavatam with all case studies and all references. So this very ancient science of relationships, sa evam maya tegda yoga prokta. Yoga means to link. Yoga prokta. Yoga means to link with Supreme. That is yoga. Comes from the word called yug. Yujjate. Yujjate means linking with the Supreme. Okay. Yoga prokta. I've spoken prokta. Puratana is very old. So why? Because you are my friend, Bhakta. So unless and until one who is in relationship with the Lord, then only you will understand the knowledge of the Lord. Otherwise, not possible. Is it clear? Unless and until one is in relationship with the Lord, only you can understand this mystery. So somebody may ask a question. Okay. So this the reason why Lord is speaking to Arjuna this, because a devotee. Now, for example, somebody asks a question. I don't want to become a devotee. I don't want to practice a spiritual life, but I want to understand Gita. What will that person will do? Right? So there are some people, no, who don't want to become a devotee, don't want to, practice spiritual life. But I want to just see what's just curious. So Prabhupada gives a green ticket in the introduction. Thus theoretically, for studying Gita, accept Krishna as the Supreme Lord and then see what he has to say. If you outrightly reject Krishna as the Lord, then you'll never understand. At least theoretically, this is a green ticket Srila Prabhupada gives. At least theoretically understand Krishna, accept Krishna as a God, just for sake of studying Gita, and then see what he has to say. Okay, got this? So this is a reason. Now, why Krishna spoke this to Arjuna only? Why not to Yudhishthir, Bhim, Nakul, Sadev? Raise a hand. Anybody want to answer? Now you all raise a hand. What happened? Raise a hand. Yes. Anybody else? No? No? Okay. Anybody else? Yes.
Because they were of the same age, they were friends.
Now what about Yudhishthir and Bhim?
Yudhishthir and Bhim were elder to Krishna. So,
So Yudhishthir, Bhim were elder to Krishna, and Nakul and Sadev were younger to Krishna. So therefore, but about himself, Krishna is going to reveal. So he will reveal about ourselves. Who is he? We will reveal to somebody is very equal to you, na? Very friend. So friend and friend, they are equal. Right? So you can reveal yourself to that person. But if you reveal to the elders, then elders will come to know, na? Hey, then they'll, and if you reveal to the youngest, what they will understand? They'll still, So because things about the secret about ourselves, is it revealed to the friend? So Krishna want to reveal his secret about himself to Arjuna. So therefore he's speaking this. Got this? So, okay, so we go to now next verse, right from text 4 to 6. Krishna will give his knowledge about his transcendental position, about himself. So now let's begin explaining. about himself, knowledge about himself. Okay, 4 to 6. Now text 3. How the connection is, let's see. Krishna is saying the very ancient science of relationship with me, with the Supreme, is told by me to you, because you are my devotee as well as friend. Can thus therefore understand the transcendental mystery of this science. So Krishna is whole this verse 1 to 3. Krishna spoke to sun god Vivaswan, then Manu, and then Manu spoke to Ikshvaku. Okay. So Arjuna had a question in text 4. Okay. Now Arjuna begins a question. So write it down. Arjuna has a doubt in text 4. Okay. 4 to 6 he wrote. Krishna will speak about himself. So Arjuna has a doubt. Okay. Arjuna uvacha aparam bhavato janma param janma vivasvatah katham etat vijaniyam tvam adau proktavaniti. The sun god Vivaswan is senior by birth to you. How am I to understand that in beginning we instructed this science stream and now you are taking care here and son, when this sun god came, how will I understand? What is this? Right? You said you spoke to sun god, but then how will I understand? You know, he is very senior to you. Means sun god came first. No, he's thinking, Arjuna is thinking. Krishna came later. So how is that? Right? Sun god came. So Krishna will answer. So in this verse, Arjuna asks about the how is it possible that you are taking, you are seeing been taking appearing now in front of me, and then you are saying you spoke to sun god. What is this? The sun god came earlier. Okay. So then it gives Krishna, it gives a chance to Krishna to speak about himself. Is it clear? Okay, it gives Krishna the chance to speak about. Okay, so this gives a chance to Krishna. So Arjuna wrote, Arjuna expresses a doubt. Okay, then it is so then Krishna starts answering. Okay. Okay, text number 5. Just give me 2 seconds. 2 seconds. Okay, Haribol, sorry. Okay. So Arjuna has a doubt, then Krishna answers. Text 5. Okay. So text 5. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Bahuni me Vyatitani Janmani Tava Charjuna Tani Aham Veda Sarvani Natvam Vetha Parantapa. So the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, many births both you and I have passed. I can remember all of them, but you cannot, O subduer of enemy. Do you see similar type of words came in chapter 2? Can somebody raise the hand and answer? Similar type. Many births, the living entity was many births. Which verse? Yes. Natvevam jatunasam na chaiva na janadipa. Natim jatunasam na chaiva jan. But there is a verse now, never was the time when I did not exist, nor you, nor any one of us. Means we exist all
14,
the time.
15.
Text 14, chapter 2. So understood how it is connecting? So many births I have passed, I can remember, but you cannot, O subduer of enemy. I can remember many births. many births. So Krishna can remember all those births. Krishna is telling Arjuna that you have a doubt, but I remember. But you are also there during time of sun god in different form. Okay, many births you and I have passed. Because Krishna is saying you do not know this, but I know. Why? Because of my inconceivable energy. I know all these things. Because of my in person. I means many births. I was there, but I was there in various avatars. I appear in various avatars. That is the point. Many births. I remember how Krishna remember through various during many avatars Krishna has taken. No, so Krishna remember all these things. But Arjuna was also there in some other way. But Arjuna could not remember this. Arjuna was also there, but he could not remember this. Why like this? Why Arjuna could not remember? And why Krishna could remember? Because Krishna comes in this same body. Arjuna has to change the body. Right? We have to change. Arjuna is acting, so Arjuna has to change the body. So Krishna can remember all this birth because he does not have to change the body, because he and his body are same. So Krishna explained this in verse number 6. Okay? Verse number 6. 1 minute. Yes, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji, Arjuna is also post, Prabhuji.
No. It's not a post. It's not a post. Arjuna was in different form, no? Like Nar Narayan. Narayan, Nar. Nar is Arjuna. Narayan is Krishna. So Arjuna was there, no? So that is not mentioned anywhere in what form he was there when Krishna instructed to Vivaswan. Now Krishna instructed in Vivaswan in some of the avatar, no? Right? Some of his. So Krishna is the source of all avatar. So Krishna is explaining who is he. Okay? Now text 6. Ajopi san avve. Why Krishna could remember? See, next previous verse. Remember the connection, previous verse. Many births both you and I have passed. I can remember all of them, but you cannot, O subduer of enemy. Means you can subdue her. You have such a power, but you cannot remember. Okay, so many incarnation avatars Krishna has taken. So he remember. How could he remember? Because Krishna and his body are non-different. It's not like Krishna come in his human body made of earth, water, fire. No, not at all. His body spiritually come in his same spiritual body. His body is indestructible. This is the Ajopi san avyayatma bhutanam ishvaropi san prakritim swamadhisthaya sambhavami atma maya. He comes by his self same energy. Atma maya means his internal energy. Although I am unborn, Krishna does not take birth like a human being. How human being comes out? No. He first, according to Bhagavatam, first he came in the mind of Vasudev, then he came into the heart of Vasudev, then he went to the mind of Devaki, then he came to the heart of Devaki, and then he came as 6 foot tall Vishnu with Gada, with mace, lotus, Sudarshan. So now one of the Acharya in Harivamsha Puran he quotes from Harivamsha Puran that Krishna was born in 2 places. Okay, Lord Krishna was born in 2 places, one to Devaki and one to Krishna simultaneously. So he quoted one verse, Garbe Chakale Asampurne. Garbe Chakale Asampurne means he says Devaki cha Yashoda samam tada. I don't remember this properly this verse. He says Garbe Chakale Asampurne, that the Krishna and there are 2 Krishna born, one to Devaki and one to Vasudev. There were 2 Krishna was born, one to Devaki, one to Devaki and one to Yashoda simultaneously. So for the Devaki, the 6 foot Vishnu came in front, and for the Yashoda, 2 babies were there. One was the Yogamaya and one was Krishna. That was Gokul Krishna. One was Gokul Krishna. Okay, that was the. So what happened? I can show you the verse also quoted by Vishwanath in his Harivamsha Puran. So I'll show you the verse. Okay, Garbe Chakale गर्भे काले तो असंपूर्णे अष्टमे अष्टमे महिषे ते स्त्रियो देवकी च यशोदा च samam tada means Devaki and Yashoda in the 8th month gave birth at the same time. So Yashoda also gave birth. So they gave birth to Krishna. Yashoda gave birth to Krishna and Yogamaya. And Devaki also gave birth. He gave 6 foot Vishnu. Then after seeing 6 foot Vishnu, Devaki prayed, "Oh Lord Vishnu, please become a baby," because she wanted to have motherly affection. And she was saying that Kamsa is with the affection of a mother, no emotions. So she said, "Oh, Kamsa is very dangerous. You become a baby so that we can hide you." So Lord 6 feet Vishnu cannot become a baby. So what he does? So Gokul Krishna, his Amsha entered into 6 foot Vishnu, and that Vishnu became a baby. And Vasudev took that baby to Gokul, and that baby with Vasudev, he merged into the baby of Yashoda. Understood? Reference Gopal Champu by Jiva Goswami. Now I'll show you the reference up from Harivamsha Puran. Okay, I'll show you the reference. 1 minute. See this reference. So this is quoted by, in his commentary, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Okay, from Harivamsha. See. So this is Vishwanath's commentary, big commentary. Okay. See, sorry, Jiva Goswami. I'm sorry, Jiva Goswami's commentary. Okay, so Jiva Goswami quotes from Harivamsha Puran. Okay. See, to fool Kamsa, here, to fool Kamsa, Krishna appeared in the 8th month of pregnancy, Harivamsha Puran. Garbhe kale ta asam purne, ashtame maishite striyau, devaki cha yashoda cha shushvate samam tada. Without the pregnancy period being completed in the 8th month, Devaki and Yashoda gave birth at the same time. This is the reference. So Krishna was born at 2 places. Got this? Okay. And more reference in Gopal Champu. I can remove it, but I have to remove that book. So please bear with me. After the class, if you want, I'll show you. Okay. Got this? So Krishna is saying, although I'm unborn. So 4 to 6. Sorry, from 4 to 6, Krishna is talking about himself. Although I'm unborn and my transcendental body never deteriorates, and although I'm Lord of all living entities, by my internal energy, I come by my internal energy, Atma Maya. Atma Maya means Lord has energies, his own energy. So Atma Maya, he comes by his own internal energy. That is he appears. He does not take birth like a human being. So nowadays people call themselves as Bhagwan, but they have toothbrush, they have. So Krishna comes in his self-same body, transcendental body, his own Prakritim Swamadhishtaya, his own, he comes in his own form, Prakriti, his own form, Swamadhishtaya, same form, by Atma Maya, his own, he comes in his own energy. Okay, he comes in his own energy. See, so in this commentary, Sridhar Swami says, means Prakriti means, Sridhar Swami says the word Prakriti Swamadhishtaya. So which Prakriti? Daivi Prakriti, Adhyatma Prakriti, internal energy, which is composed of Shuddha Sattva. Prakriti Swam means Shuddha Sattva. Ramanuja says Prakriti also means, the great Acharya Ramanujacharya says, his own Swabhava, his own nature. He comes in his self-same nature. Prakriti Swam means Swarupa. He comes in his own Swarupa. What is the Swarupa of the Lord? Satchidananda Rasa. He comes in own Swarupa. Okay, how he comes? Prakriti Sambhavami Atma Maya. Atma Maya means his own Maya. Atma Maya, his own Maya. Not the Bhairangi Maya, which is separated energy, 7.4. He comes in his own Maya, his own spiritual Sambhavami, his own Maya full of Swabhaviki Jnana Bala Kriyacha. So, okay, so if you want, I'll explain about the Lord and his energies. How Lord comes, Lord's energy is composed of knowledge, strength. Okay, Swabhaviki Jnana Bala Kriyacha. He comes in his own Atma Maya. Or Ramanuja also says Atma Maya means by his own knowledge. So his body is full of Sat, Chit, Ananda. Sat means eternity, Chit means knowledge, and bliss means full of Anand. So Lord's tip of hair to the tip of head air, Lord's tip of head air to the tip of toe, Lord is full of eternity, knowledge, and bliss. Example, like you eat an elephant made of candy. If you eat elephant trunk, you eat elephant tail, it is all sweet. So the Lord is full of, composed of this. So means Lord's body has no difference. The Lord's body is self same body. So these are the verses. Atma Maya means his own knowledge, own form, his own swarupa. He comes his own Shakti. Okay? Got this? So he comes to his own Atma Maya. Okay? So next I'll give the connection, I'll stop. Okay? So next 7 to 8, the reason why he comes, reason for his appearance. 7 to 8, why he comes. So Krishna says, although I am unborn and my transcendental body never deteriorates, and although I am the Lord of living entities, okay, Ishwar Sarvbhutanam, okay, I am the Bhutanam is living entity. Ishwara means I am the Supreme Lord. Living entities, by my internal energy, Swambhavami, Swam means his own self or own form. Internal energy, I still appear in every millennium in my original transcendental form. So why he appears? Text number 7. Why he appears? Text number 7. Okay. So do you want me to continue further, or I can stop here? I can continue.
Continue. You can continue, Prabhuji.
Yes,
How many
Prabhuji, you
want?
can continue.
What about others? Not saying yes, at least raise a hand. Everyone. Then I'll continue. Otherwise, you'll miss. I'll continue till 4:30. Okay. So why Lord appears? Text 7. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyuthanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham. He appear. Whenever and wherever there is decline in religious practice, O descendant of Bharat, and the predominant rise of irreligion, at that time I descend myself. Srijami means not used in the sense of creation. Srijami is not creating. Srijami means bring forth, what is it? Bring forth. That is called Srijami. It is a manifest. That is called manifest. I appear. Is not his like it, So why he appears? He appears Dharma Glani. Okay, if Dharma is which Dharma? The Dharma of soul, that servant of Krishna, that is destroyed. Then there is no devotional service. So Lord comes to establish the Dharma. What Dharma? The Dharma has 3 meaning: ontology, theology, and sociology. So which Dharma it is talking? Talking about Jivara Swarupoi Krishna Nitya Das. When the Jiva, a living entity, is not able to practice his Dharma of Bhakti, then Lord appears. Okay? Then Lord appears. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyuthanam dharmasya tadatmanam. So which Dharma? He comes in Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir. Yada, whenever or wherever. Okay, he comes. So, who says in Kumara Sampradaya, one of the Acharya, he writes, when the dear Dharma applies to deterioration of Bhakti Yoga. Okay, so all the type, Ramanuja says, when Varnashram Dharma is not practiced. So, there are 3 types of Dharma: ontology, theology, because Dharma does not have any English equivalent. So, ontological definition, theological definition, and sociological. So ontological means Jivere Swarup Hoy Krishnere Nitya Das. Ontology means study of nature of something. So nature of Jiva is to be servant of Krishna. Okay. Jivere Swarup Hoy Krishnera Nitya Das. And theology means Dharman to Shakshat Bhagavad Pranitam. Dharma is one which is directly spoken by the Lord. Means following the scriptures. That is Dharma. Okay. And then social means Varnashram, your duties. So somebody is not, you are not able to follow the duties. Asuras are there, so they are not allowing to practice the duties. So decline. So Ramanuja says Varnashram, so, okay, and then one of the some Nimbarka Sampradaya, in that one Acharya writes that when Bhakti Yoga Dharma is lost, so therefore he comes, okay. So then Bhaktivinoda Thakur also writes in his commentary, whenever there is bhakti, the dharma of bhakti, when people are not able to practice bhakti, then Krishna comes. He comes. Okay? Then Krishna will come to establish, because bhakti, Bhagavan and bhakta, that is important for the Lord. So if these things are disturbed, then Lord comes as, if these things are disturbed, then Lord comes to yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata. So Lord comes to establish. So got this dharma, which dharma? So one is varnashram, one is, so, or one is not able to follow the instructions of the Lord. So Lord comes to establish this. Okay, actually there is two
All of
reasons.
three, Prabhuji.
First reason is what? Lord comes
For all
to, first reason is Lord comes to give darshan to his devotees. That is the main reason. Establishing dharma is the secondary thing. Lord comes to give darshan to his devotees. He can send anybody to establish this dharma, but he personally comes. So bhakti, Bhagavan and bhakta. So bhakta is important for the Lord, because through the bhakta, Lord, the bhakta and Bhagavan, the relationship is by bhakti. Is it clear? The relationship is by bhakti. So Lord comes to establish this bhakti. Okay? Okay, so Lord appears. So Prabhupada writes. Okay? So he appears in various yugas, in various ways, in the 6 type of incarnation he comes. Like Purusha Avatar, Guna Avatar, Leela Avatar, Shaktivesh Avatar, Manvantra Avatar. Okay, so he comes in all other this. Is it clear? So why he comes? To establish dharma, why he comes? What is the purpose of his coming? So next verse will answer. What is the purpose of his coming? First is that he comes, I descend myself. But why he comes? Of course, yada yada dharmasya, dharma. Which kind of dharma is? Paritranaya sadhunam, vinashaya dushkitam, dharma samstharpanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. To deliver the pious. Who is this pious? Sadhu. Who are the devotees? Okay. To annihilate the miscreants, as well as to re-establish the principles of religion. So which religion? Bhakti. I myself appear millennium after millennium, yuge yuge. So Prabhupada also write no in the purport. See, according to Bhagavad Gita, sadhu is a Krishna conscious man. Okay, so Lord comes yada yada hi dharmasya. So he comes. So various kinds of avatars like Purusha, Guna, Leela, Shaktavesh, Manvantara, Yuga avatars. So Lord comes in various types of avatars. To main is to appear delivering tranaya. Tranaya means delivering, dedicated devotees, sadhuna. Killing the demons is a secondary. Okay. So he comes to give darshan to the devotees, and then he does other things also. Because he says these, like Krishna came, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes, like Krishna came when he killed Ravan, Kamsa, okay, and Keshi. Why he came? Because they are giving suffering to my devotees. And who cannot be killed by anyone? This Ravan, they were powerful. Only I should have to come. Means Krishna could send his expansion also. But he personally comes. He comes to, because to Paritranaya sadhu, which sadhu who are meditating on him always. So I should give them protection. So, and they are singing about me, singing my glories. Then, Satatam kirtayanto mam, yatantasya dhrvitaha, navasantyascha. So they are always singing my glories. To protect them, I come million after millennium. Okay, so they come to protect. Okay, is it? Are you getting the verse connection? So this is the knowledge Arjuna should work. Who is this Lord? Why he comes? Siddhar Swami says the Lord comes to uphold the tenets of Sanatan Dharma. What is Sanatan Dharma? The Sanatan Dharma is what? The Dharma of Bhakti. That is Sanatan Dharma. Okay. So Lord comes for that purpose. So Lord comes, but main thing, paritranaya sadhuna, that's the first line. So paritranaya sadhuna means he comes to sadhus to give darshan to the saintly people, eminent Vaishnavas, who always seek a refuge for the Lord. That is the first. Protecting the virtuous, destroying the wicked, and then establishing dharma. Now understood? Three things. Ramanuja says, protecting the devotees. So protecting the devotees is the primary. He comes to give darshan. I can show you the verse from Chaitanya Charitamrita, but anyway, protecting the devotees. Got this? Paritranaya sadhunam, vinashaya tajaskitam. Protecting the devotees. Okay, and so primary reason.
Here in purport, Prabhuji, Chaitanya Charitamrita shloka you are
Which one?
telling, no? Here in,
Purport?
yes, purport, yes. Prabhuji.
Which Chaitanya Charitamrita shloka? This is no.
In purport of it,
This,
yes.
no, this is, yeah, this is there. Okay, this is there. But I'm looking for something different. So why he comes? The primary reason for him to is to that to give darshan to the devotees. Paritranaya sadhuna, vinashaya cha dushkitam. Killing demons is secondary. Killing the demons is secondary. Okay, that is the main thing. Okay, is it clear?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, anybody has any question? Okay, no? Okay, so we continue next. So we continue in the next verse. So incarnate next. So next, what is the now? Next, what is the question now? Text, what we read in text number 8, that he comes to deliver the pious and to annihilate the miscreants. Okay, why he comes and what he does. Okay, so this section was till 7 to 8. Okay, why he appears. Now 9, write it down. 9 to 10, the benefit of understanding Krishna's birth and activities. 7 to 8, the reason. 9 to 10, the benefit. When you understand Krishna's birth and activities, then you have a benefit, okay, of understanding Krishna's birth and activities. Okay, 9 to 10, benefits of Krishna's birth and activities. So anyway, we stop here. Stop here. So anybody has any question? Anybody has any question?
No, Prabhuji.
Okay, so we'll start.
No.